Been a good afternoon out by the water, and you're learning a little something out there, too.
It's an amazing place, Rosie, and look at these backdrops. I mean, some of the most powerful visuals in the state of Maryland, in my opinion, right here in Talbot County at St. Michael's. Right now, this is the view from the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum, and one of the key displays is the Waterman's Wharf right here. Kids love it, the whole family. Take you on a little tour, a little walk and talk. Now, to the left here, this is some of the restoration grass where they're showing how we're trying to bring back the grasses in the bay, natural habitat for crabs, oysters, all kinds of wildlife. So really interesting to check that out from an environmental standpoint. And of course, we're on the Eastern Shore. You got to talk about crabs. And we've got the live crab display here. Hey, these things bite and they pinch mainly. And so you got to be careful with that. But some people have to learn the hard way, right?
Well, there's some people that just, they learned that way. That's right.
Let me see what I can do here at the all-important crab display. You know, I did grow up in Fillmore Island. I should have a clue. There we go. Get a shot of that tank. What do you think, Rosie? Yeah, this guy likes you, I think. He's waving to you.
I don't think the crab likes that at all. Look at him.
Don't ask me to stick my finger in this guy's claws,
I'll give you $1 if you do.
He's after you, Rosie. He's after you. Look at that.
Now, Maryland's most powerful Doppler radar and the forecast certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
All right, let's get into this thing. And Hurricane Irene poised to strike the southern North Carolina coast as we go into the overnight toward daybreak tomorrow before she makes her move on Maryland throughout tomorrow during the day, afternoon, and evening. Right now you see her positioned about 50 miles south of what we think will be ground zero, Morehead City, North Carolina, south and west of Cape Hatteras, just north of the Wilmington area. A couple of things going on here. First off, here's an updated look at those hurricane warnings. One positive sign, track very consistent. We have not seen an expansion of our hurricane warned counties in red back further into the western shore. So right now it's the southern Chesapeake, deep south Maryland, the lower eastern shore, Ocean City, Salisbury, Pocomoke, Dorchester County, Talbot County. All of these counties expecting hurricane force winds tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, overnight into early Sunday, and tropical storm force winds, which will gust likely to close to 60 at least around the Baltimore area tomorrow. That's a look at the latest watches and warnings. Again, she's a Category 2 now. Winds just over 96. They're at 100. Category 1, which is what we think she'll be as she comes into the Ocean City, lower eastern shore area. That's going to be 74 to 95 mile per hour. But remember, that's sustained winds. Highest impact's probably going to be from the surge and the rain. Yes, wind will still be high, but relative to other hurricanes, and by the way, landfalling tornadoes extremely unlikely tomorrow, except for maybe right along that Atlantic coastline, the Maryland and Virginia beaches perhaps, but most of us dealing with, I don't know, 6 to 10 inches of rain possible from this storm inside of 24 hours, and a surge, unfortunately, especially on the lower Chesapeake, 4 to 8 feet of surge. That on top of the wind. What are we talking about with the storm surge? Bottom line is that hurricane pushes into land. We will look for the increased chance of flooding right on those coastal areas. This is an example from down on the Gulf Coast, but it's the same effect as the wind and the low pressure brings that water up on top of the enhanced high tide. That's where you get that potential flooding. And again, those tracks tweaking just slightly further offshore, but remember, large hurricane force winds 60 miles out from the center. Even if the center were to drift a little further east, which we would like to see, we're still going to see hurricane force winds, especially in eastern Maryland on the eastern shore. By the way, Chesapeake Beach, sunset tonight. You know, the clouds thickening up a little bit, a quiet night to make those final preparations. Annapolis looking on the waters here on the Severn, and again, a pretty quiet finish of the day. What a difference it will be this time tomorrow night. And again, 77 winds, still light at the airport. That's the calm before the storm. Maryland's most powerful. We're already tracking the outer rain bands here off of Ocean City, and you see that large circulation locked in just south and east of us. Again, this is a large hurricane, not the most powerful we've ever seen. It never made Category 4. It's a weak, relatively speaking, Category 2, but I'm telling you, the timing here critical tomorrow. Make those last preparations in the morning, because by, say, 5 o'clock in the evening, that heavy rain overspreading Maryland from south to north, things really go downhill, including the Baltimore area overnight, and we may see the eye wall pass just off the Delmarva Peninsula or over top of it. It's really impossible to say yet, but we know that timing is going to be tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, into Sunday morning before it heads for New York City. Tonight, quiet. Tomorrow, as we look ahead, again, things going downhill, gust to 40, gust to 60 in Baltimore tomorrow night. And the outlook, again, rough weather right through the weekend. We'll be back with much more in just a few minutes.